wait. Sunday. Amen.
Solo Deus fio. En nome Padre Spiriti Sancti. E la benza le cae nei vostri.
Let's talk about something that's really important to making sure you survive life abroad. Living away from your home country, a place where you grew up, where you make your communities, where you made your friend, a place where you know life at its best, a place where you're extremely comfortable, is at home. Now, if you are like me, like many other people out there who have decided to take that leap of faith and go live overseas for or whatever reason it may be that you left your home country. Maybe you are one of those super adventurous people and you just want to find out what you are capable of and what you can do outside of your home country. Now, one of the first things you want to do when you get there, apart from, the basic stuff like getting an apartment, getting a job, etc., is you want to get a community around you. You want to get social support. Nobody can live without social support. And if you're in a place like Japan, trust me, this is a place where you really need friends. I have heard a lot of people from YouTubers, influencers on social media, and even just random people that you meet in the office or anywhere, just around the bars or out in the park. They will tell you that making friends here in Japan can be a challenge. Yeah, it can be very difficult here. This society is unlike any other that you know of. Woo! 9 years I've been here and I still don't have a solid Japanese friend. I have Japanese colleagues that I consider friends, but we hardly ever go out and hang out outside of work like friends do, I have one dude that I met on the Shinkansen a while ago, and I think he's the closest to Japanese friend that I have because he actually once let me stay at his house overnight. Yeah, that was last year when I went to Suzuka to watch Formula One. He lives in Nagoya. And then he said, no, man, you don't need to book a hotel. You can come crash at my place. It's just one night, right? Yeah, that's one guy that I call my Japanese friend. There are other people, yes. Like I said, most of them are colleagues. The subject of making friends abroad usually is accompanied by making friends as an adult, because a lot of people, when they move abroad, they move as adults already. They move after they have established connections in the home countries or they have had some form of life experience. For most people, like in my case, I moved to Japan when I was already an adult. And so making friends from scratch for many people can be a big challenge. Yeah, notice I say for many people because it is definitely not a problem for me. I can make friends anywhere, anytime, no matter the situation. I think it's a gift. So once in a while, my friends and I here, we hang out together at somebody's house. We cook, we drink wine, we chat. Things that we normally would do maybe back in our home countries. Because it seems like here in Japan, it's not really a thing for people to visit each other at their homes. People always go out to like clubs or bars or parks, just somewhere outdoors or sorry, not outdoors, somewhere outside of their homes. Yeah, and I don't know how you guys do it from the country that you're from. In South Africa, man, we like to hang at people's homes. We have a braai, barbecue, or like a house party or whatever. We just visit each other. We visit each other in South Africa. That's what we do. You go to somebody's house. At my house, people are always coming in and out. My mom is a very people's person, a community person. So there's lots of people coming. Well, apart from the fact that, she's selling cookies, the kuku. So people are always coming or going at my home. But in general, she is a people's person. So I grew up around that vibe of having people around, making tea for the grown-ups, and then going to sit in my room while she's having, her visitors over. So when I moved into my own apartment, it was the same. My friends came over, they stayed over at night. We visited, we ate, we drank, we had a good time. We organized parties, we had house parties. That's just the vibe in South Africa. And I think that's the vibe in other countries as well. America, Europe, Australia, wherever else. Except here in Japan. Here in Japan, it's very different. It's very, very different. It's rare that you would actually go to somebody's house and just chill there for a couple of hours or even stay over the night. That's why we do it. My group of friends, we are all Africans and one Brazilian. And I can't think of anybody that is non-African in our group of friends. Damn, if I have forgotten you, I'm sorry. It's not on purpose. But I consider everyone I hang out with to be African. Yeah, in my group of friends, we do that every now and again, like once or twice a month. We hang out at somebody's house. I host, somebody else hosts. Most of these videos you will be seeing here, we were at Lopez's house, this really cool guy from Mozambique that we hang out with. Probably the best cook in our... let me not say that because it's going to get me into trouble with other guys. Yeah, but that's the theme is like that. So somebody cooks at their house, we bring food, we bring wine, and we just hang out and chill there. That's the vibe with my friends here, my non-Japanese friends. And as I say this, I actually do remember one of my colleagues, she actually has invited me to her place twice, and we hung out with a bunch of her friends. Yeah, and she introduced me to her friends. That hasn't happened though. I think COVID happened, and then and then, you know, stuff just changed, and we never really hung out again. And now that I say this, I should actually invite her to one of our gentlemen's club. I think she'd like it because she likes wine and she's like a really cool person to hang out with. So yeah. Here in Japan with Japanese people, and I think also with other non-Japanese friends that I have that are not from Africa, it's very rare that we would go hang out at their homes. Yeah. The only person that has ever invited me to their house that is not Japanese and that is not from the continent is, I don't know. Whose house did I go to? Okay. Actually, it's Jonathan. Yeah. And he's my colleague. And this was a long time ago. My first year in Tokyo, he had a Thanksgiving party. I remember that. Yeah. And he had a big turkey, and one of our other colleagues just had a baby, or not just had a baby, the baby was like a year old. And we went, that's that. Yeah. So I've been living in Tokyo for 7 years now. This is my 7th year. And it is one of 2 occasions where a non-African person invited me to their house, to their homes, and we hang out there. It's almost like the homes are the sacred places where if you invite somebody in there, you are letting them into this extremely intimate and extremely private space. So they don't really do that. Yeah, it's that culture here. I should actually find out more from my other colleagues to see if they visit each other, like if Japanese people go and visit other Japanese people. I know in the more rural or countryside parts of Japan, there are people in smaller towns, people do visit each other there. That I have a bit of experience in that regard. Even when I was in Nagasaki, a colleague, when I was teaching English, she invited me to her house for dinner. And that was good. They cooked up a storm. And one random old man, this old gentleman who was coaching my junior high school baseball team, he invited me to his house. It was during spring vacation or spring break, and the kids were starting their basketball practice and baseball practice and baseball club. And I was standing outside watching them practice. And at that time, I couldn't speak any Japanese at all. It was extremely minimal. So I'm there watching them practice, and then one of the teachers said, "Oh, do you want to join?" I said, "No, I'll just watch. I don't really play baseball." And the old man was kind of curious, and he's about me, of course, and then he came and asked me, well, through the other teacher, like translation vibes, asked me where I'm from, the usual, why I'm in Japan and how long I've been here, and if I like drinks. If I like beer, that's what he asked. Yeah, do you like osake? And if you're ever gonna trap me, just tell me about whiskey or wine, and then I'm trapped. Oh no, I'll be there. So he invited me to his home, which was quite random and also a once off. And when I went there for dinner at his house, there were a bunch of other baseball kids. But these ones were not from my school. These ones were from another school that he was training or coaching rather. Yeah, and they were also surprised to see this black guy who can't speak Japanese and he's just sitting there in the living room. He brought a 6-pack of Kirin. I remember that. I brought 6-pack of Kirin beer. And and we ate. His daughter was there and she could speak English. And it turned out that his grandchild, I can't remember if it's a boy or was a boy or girl. But the old man's grandchild was in one of the schools where I taught. Yeah, and as I'm there, the kid is like there looking at me saying, Titi sensei, oboiteru, as in you remember me? And I'm like, dog, I don't even know what you're saying. I'm only remembering this in hindsight and I remember the words now that I can speak a bit more Japanese. I remember the words in a way, unless maybe I have formed them in my head. But yeah, the story is very true and it did happen. And the mom could speak a little bit of English. Yeah, and the mom said to me, this also confirmed it. The mom said, oh yeah, you are teaching my son at Koebaru Shogako. That was the name of the school, Koebaru Elementary School. And I'm like, snap, yeah. And I was very honest about this because I couldn't remember the kid, you know. The kids, when they are small, they don't really make such a huge impact and you don't really remember them so much. But the mom was there and she was half translating. Whoa, okay. This is too much of a background or a backstory to the theme of this episode, which is about to be making friends when you live abroad, specifically making friends here in Japan. This is how I started. And I'm not going to give you tips on how to make friends. I am really good at making friends, but I don't know how to tell somebody how to make friends. It's something that comes extremely natural to me. It was very natural to me in South Africa. It's very natural to me here in Japan. And I feel like I could even make friends on Jupiter, man. It's just a talent. It's just a quirk of mine. So, but anyway, the story started like this. So we are sitting with the gentleman, with my friends. We're having wine. We're eating at Lopez's house. He had cooked nice food. And I asked one of them, I said, hey guys, do you know what talent you have? What skill or something special that you know you can do without trying very hard? Yeah, and of course, Jesse was like there. He's like, yeah, me, I can play football, man. I'm good at it. And also computer programming stuff. Those are my thing. Yeah, we have a biologist. The guy is so obsessed with biology and everything to do with that space. Zoology, biology, those are his things. So it's so lame every time he starts talking about animals or plants or the human anatomy. But he's not worse than... Never mind. You have a physics guru as well in our group. And yeah, he thinks he is just God's gift to all of us. So everybody was just were sharing what it is that they're good at. And somebody said to me, and then I said, but I actually don't really know what my talent is. I feel like, yeah, I am good at talking to people. I'm good at driving conversations and, getting people together. Yeah. And Mr. Biology, Vando, he was like, yeah, I think that's just your talent. You're good at making friends. And I thought, no, man, that's not a talent. Anybody can make friends. And through that conversation, I learned that no, actually, it is not true. Not anybody can make friends. And when you're an adult, it's even harder to make new friends because there's so much, you are so opinionated, you have so many preferences. When you're an adult, you've already shaped your likes and dislikes about things. So a lot of people go into that space or go into making friends with a lot of that baggage behind them of what they have already known or experienced in life. So they take a lot of their experiences into making friends. Whereas I think when you're a child, it just didn't matter. You went by feeling. If this person was nice vibes around you, and you could laugh with them or you could play with them. That was cool. And in most cases, you would even forget quickly. Even if someone did you bad, the next day you've forgotten. Or at least in my case, I forgot and forgave. I forgot and forgave easily, and I moved on when I was a kid. And I just made friends like that. I grew up in a very discriminative, very racist town, and I went to an Afrikaans school where kids who were very young, I mean, I don't even know where they learned racism at that young age, but they were quite racist anyway. I forgave them so quickly because it was just never my thing to hold grudges or I don't know, or to remember to be upset at someone. But now that I'm older, I do know that when I do get upset at someone, I can hold a grudge. And if a vibe is not really good with somebody, I can just disregard them and just kick them off the Tieti Monare planet. But yeah, what I'm getting at is so making friends as an adult comes with that baggage as well, is that your opinions can shape how you view people and also how you present yourself to people, of course. Yeah, and then I thought, but okay, so if it's that difficult to make friends, damn, how do people that move to Japan survive? Because this place can be so isolating if you don't have a community or a group of friends around you who will be your social support, who will be there when you need someone, when you're in trouble or when you are stuck, or when you just need to de-stress after work or whatever the case may be. Or whatever people need friends for, Yeah. And even now, as I think about this, I wonder, what would my life be like if I didn't have friends, or if I couldn't make friends as easily as I can? And I think it's something that I take for granted, just how easy it is for me to communicate and to be able to chat up with people and keep conversations going. What would my life be like? Would I have survived Japan? I mean, I'm already struggling to survive Japan. Japan is such a difficult country to live in. Yeah, okay, but surviving is too harsh, too strong. I am doing more than surviving. I'm thriving here. I'm actually surprised that I can actually make it in such a socially reclusive community or space environment. It surprises me of what I'm actually capable of. But yeah, as the night went on, it turns out that one of my talents is making friends, and I'm really good at doing that. And as you can see, like in most of these videos that I'm going to be uploading, or you'll see them as they flash by, without massaging my own ego, but you can tell that I am quite the center of attention in a lot of them. And I blame my height for it. I think there's a strong correlation between short people and being the center of attention at all the times. It just happens, like all the energies flow down onto them, or rather all the energy flows out from them into the other people. Yeah, I'm onto something here. I do enjoy it though, it's sometimes really nice because I can independently hang out with other people's friends. Coming back anyway, making friendships here in Japan is very important for a host of reasons. Because you can go here, when you're in Japan, you can go for such a long time without communicating with other people, especially if you don't speak Japanese. Like if Japanese is difficult for you, or if you are like me and you couldn't really be bothered that much in learning deep Japanese to have long conversations with people, it can be isolating, or it can be very difficult. And I guess if you are also one of those people that are deeply interested in being integrated in the Japanese society and being integrated with Japanese communities, that can be very difficult, and that can be a tough pill to swallow when you find yourself that you are not being as easily accepted as you thought you would be. So yeah, I mean, it goes without saying really that making friends is, wow, super crucial. My experience here in Japan is like twofold because I lived in Nagasaki for 2 years and then I moved to Tokyo. So I kind of like have a life in Nagasaki, or I had that life in Nagasaki and friends, Nagasaki friends, which I kind of left there in Nagasaki, and I'm not even that much of friends with them anymore. And when I came to Tokyo, I made new friends. And those friends are the ones that I feel like I have a stronger bond or stronger connection with because I've spent a lot longer time with them than the others, than the ones back in Nagasaki. Yeah, but it also does give you like that opportunity to, actually no, it's not even an opportunity. This is what it does to you when you have friends or when you live abroad, is in a way you tend to have something like a double life, because you will have friends from the country that you come from. Like in South Africa, I have all of my friends there and I still keep touch with them as often as I can. At the same time, my friends here in Japan, I also keep, tabs with them. And those are the ones that I get to see physically. So it's like you're living two lives. You're living the life of that small, or not small, that past that you grew up with, and then your current life of the new friends that you made here, and balancing them or trying to keep them all level together. That can be quite a challenge, which comes back to the whole point again of this talent, of being able to juggle both sets of friends and somehow keeping it together. You'll see how in a lot of these influencers, social media people, they will tell you how making adult friends is not just about going out for coffees or going out for lunches. It's about acceptance and forgiving and sacrifice. Oh wow, yeah, it sounds a little bit intense. I feel like when you are an adult, friendships should be a little bit easier, in that people should be more understanding that, you have other stuff to do. You've got work, you've got a family, maybe you've got children, and they, we all have got our priorities. So adult friends should not feel like childish friends. People should stop feeling like they're entitled to your time or entitled to you. As a matter of fact, your children and your family, those people, they are the ones that have that right. I mean, even them, they don't own you. You are your own person at the end of the day. But making adult friends should be, the only difficult part is, I guess, meeting those people. It shouldn't be keeping those people. You feel me? Anyway, so back to how I am surviving Japan is, this really big group of dudes, of gentlemen that I have. Remember earlier I said I have a friend that is, if I have forgotten someone that is not African, now I remember. It's Yasin. Yasin is the only non-African friend that we have. He's Moroccan. He's gonna kill me. He's gonna kill me if he sees this video. But Yasin, we love you, man. I hope I can come to your wedding in Morocco. It's gonna be tough, because I've gotta go to Scotland for a wedding there. But I just needed to slot that in there now that I remembered Yasin. Yasin, that the friend that recently won AFCON after they lost it and then they won it again. Lucky guys. These damn Arabs. No, I take it back. I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing. There's an Egyptian, a Moroccan, and two Moroccans that this was directed to. I'm just teasing them. I don't really mean it, guys. I don't mean it. We all love you. We love all Africans. So the Gentlemen's Club, we hang out about once or twice a month at somebody's house. We usually just bring food, wine, and we have a good time. Yeah, we joke around, we talk about football. There's a big group of us that actually love football, and then there's one or two that are like very neutral, and yeah, they're hardly ever involved in our deep arguments about who's the better team between Manchester United and Liverpool. The other guys, the Chelsea and the Arsenal supporters and the Benfica supporters, they hardly involved because, you know, they support small teams. But our favorite drink of choice is always red wine, and we have all sorts of red wines. We try to taste nice, new, different wines, or we get the ones that we always, you know, like the ones that we are familiar with. I think the leading country's wine that we drink is South Africa. South African wine, and then Portuguese wine, and now and then there'd be like Spanish or French wine in the mix. And once in a while, somebody pops out a bottle of whiskey, out of nowhere. But wine is the one. In fact, this coming weekend, we are gonna go have like a bit of a boys' barbecue. We'll be popping them wines from morning time until midday, after lunch and early afternoon. Yeah, daytime drinking is our thing. Yeah, and we will be nicely toasted and then go home early. Go home to your families, as they say in Peaky Blinders. Yeah, if it wasn't for this community of friends or of guys that I hang out with, I honestly don't know how my life would have been like in Japan. There are times where I wish we could include a Japanese person to be in the mix and, you know, to give us the ins and outs about Japan, but it is so hard. There is one guy called Wandile. He's got a very good Japanese friend, Sho, and Sho is always coming to parties, and he always organizes parties as well. He likes hanging out with us, and he's really cool and decent. But it's just one guy out of many. Yeah, and we've accepted, you know, that's just how it is. If somebody walked into our group, they would think we are racist because literally it's just us Southern African guys and one Moroccan. The friend group is made up of a bunch of South Africans, Angolan, Mozambican, and and that's it. Yeah, and like I said, there's a Brazilian guy. Yeah, that's us. Without them, honestly, I really don't know. And one of the other things that is really difficult here in Japan is, or when you live abroad, never mind Japan, one of the difficult things about making friends while you're living abroad is the fact that friends actually leave. Some of them are here 3-4 years and then they go back to their home countries. In my time here in Japan, I have seen so many friends leave. The first one to go was Dida back in 2022. Her mission ended and she went back to Kenya for a couple of months or a year and a half, and then she left again. She moved on to another country. But I did see her a year ago. I went to visit her. Katleho also left a year after Dida, very close friend of mine, man. It was so sad to see her go. In fact, before them two, Pumla left first. Pumla left during COVID in 2021. Man, that was so sad when she left. Yeah, that is, these friendship breakups or friendship endings, sometimes the endings are on a good note, like Pumla and Katleho and Dida. We are still very good friends, just that they now live in different countries. They went either back home or they've been placed in different missions around the world. I had Bongani. Bongani was probably the closest friend I had here in Japan. It was so funny actually how Bongani and I met. He sent me a text on Facebook and he says, according to him, I responded to the inbox a whole year later. I still don't believe that story, but fine. I'm not going to call him a liar because, you know, he's an adult. He's a grown up. We used to call him our voice of reason, Bongani, because, man, he was the guy that put us in line. He was the eldest of all of us here. And note I say eldest because he felt like a brother. Bongani was a proper family. He left in 2023. back to South Africa. And when I went to South Africa at the end of 2023, I went to his house in Durban. I went to visit him. It was very nice. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was heart-wrenching when Bongani left. Another friend of mine, Zuga, we had a friendship breakup out of nowhere. It was sad actually seeing him go because he left. Look, our friendship ended abruptly while he was still here. But I can understand the dynamics. We had a very good time together when he was just living here alone, and then his wife moved in, so he had to prioritize, like I also had to accept that I am not entitled to him. He had to get his own affairs in order. So I kind of lost him That is so dark, so sad. Not lost. Like our friendship just ended that way. I feel like, this video is transitioning now into how you lose friends or the pain of losing friends here in Japan. Or the pain of losing friend when you're living abroad. Yeah, that is the sad reality though. People do leave. Thomas, another one. Oh my goodness. Big Tom. Tommy. Tommy was actually one of the first friends I made when I got to Tokyo. I remember I befriended Pumla and Katleho. Those were the first two. And then shortly after that, it was Thomas, Teboho. Let's not even talk about Teboho. Thomas, Teboho, and Makota. Big Mac. Mac also just disappeared. Friendship breakup out of nowhere. Big Mac and then Thomas, he left in 2023 as well. Yeah, he left just before Bongani and he moved to Netherlands for greener pastures, I guess. Yeah, Tommy and I. And he even used to live very close to me, 2 apartment blocks from where I live. That's where Thomas used to live. Once when I went to the United States back in 2022 for that December period, he came and lived at my house, watered my plants. Nice guy, Tommy. Yeah, now he lives in Utrecht, something like that, near Amsterdam in the Netherlands. I think he's in Namibia now, just visiting. He's from Namibia, just visiting. Yeah. Makgotla, I don't know what happened with Makgotla. Makgotla got famous. He started organizing parties and clubs, at clubs, and he became very big. And so, that one just fizzled out. He's a boy from Botswana, really nice guy as well. He taught me quite a lot about Japan and Japanese culture. I remember when I met him, I was so shocked at how fluent he is in Japanese. And he said, he studied here. He's been living in Japan forever. I wonder if he got his permanent residency now, because he's been living here for quite a long time. But he's still here. I just don't see him anymore. And when I do see him, Makgotla will be Makgotla. And Teboho unfortunately passed away at the end of 2022 or beginning of 2023. What a nice guy. He was an engineer here. He was the life of the party. Teboho boy. Yeah, he was a really nice guy. I went snowboarding with him once, and I remember him learning how to snowboard within 5-10 minutes, and then he was getting it already. Teboho was a literal genius. What a loss! What a loss to society and to Japan. Yeah. Who else left? Katleho left. Katleho is my best friend. Lovely lady from Botswana. When I went to South Africa, she came all the way from Botswana to come see me as well. She also, in the short space that she left Japan, she even came back to visit. And I remember when she was here, she met up with Nina. Nina is one of my former close friends, Tumi's sister, and she came to Japan and she stayed at my place for a couple of nights. They met and they just became good friends just out of nowhere. Katleho and Nina, really cool people. When Katleho came to visit me in South Africa, the next day she hung out with Nina. So that connection again of friendships, I really don't understand what people are complaining about, because adult friendships are the best. they are so cool when they do work out. I must add, when they do work out, they can be really, really amazing. I just remembered another one. Congo, Helder Congo. Teixeira, this guy, he used to work for the Angolan embassy, and then now he's actually in between Japan and Angola. Really nice guy. We used to play futsal together, and then futsal, indoor soccer. And then he got injured and he quit. He's like, no more. He was on crutches for like 2 months, and he's like, no more. I'm never playing indoor football again. And he started running. And oh my goodness, now he runs quite a lot. Yeah. We ran a couple of times together here in Tokyo. And every time he comes here, we try to hang out. Really, 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 really nice guy. I hope he comes back. I mean, every 3 months, I think he comes back to Japan. Yeah, I hope I see him again soon. Teixeira. Helder Congo-san. Yeah. Really dope guy, man. Yeah, so, and then of course, last but not least, Sidivana-san, Tabo's dope friend of mine. He also left. Yeah, this segment just shifted to talking about all the friends that I've kind of like parted ways with, that I had an amazing 2 or 3 years with, and then they either moved to another country or moved back home. And yes, it does happen. One of these days it will be me. I will be leaving Japan, and I'll be leaving my friends behind. It can be really difficult. And then there's other friends as well. There's those social media friends, the ones that you never see, but you're always talking, either on Instagram DMs or Facebook DM, whatever, Twitter or WhatsApp. You're texting each other, but you just never hang out physically. There are a few of those, yeah. Even right here in Japan, some of them we even we try to hang out, but then just schedules don't work out. And I don't hold anything against those guys as long as I know that they are here and we are together. And then there are those friends that you only see at parties or at clubs, and you think, I haven't seen you like me and Fred and Shims. Me and those dudes, man, we bumped into each other at Hub, and you would say we are best friends, because then we be laughing, we hang out, we talk about South Africa, we talk about Malawi, whatever. Life just gets great, and it gets going. And they always go like, when I say it, you don't invite us when you're drinking wine there. What's wrong with you? And I'm like, I keep forgetting, man. That's just how it is. That's just the dynamics of living abroad. There are those friends that you see all the time. There are those friends that you chat to all the time. There are friends who comment on my YouTube videos, but I just never get to hang out with them because they are also busy. They also have got their lives, and they have their stuff that they're handling. So that's that as well. Yeah. So that's just about sums it up. The type of friends that I have here, and the people that get me going through Japan. I must give a big shout out as well to all of my friends in South Africa. There's people, random time zones, but they will text me. I know Tumi sometimes calls me at 2 a.m. He's like, damn it, I forgot that you were sleeping. And I'm like, yeah, this motherfucker. He calls me, or I just randomly call him. He'd be calling me having a beer by the swimming pool, and I'm like, man, how I wish I was there. Tumi, my best friend of all time, the best man at my wedding. Or maybe I shouldn't say that because I'm gonna put lots of people. Yeah, let's forget that one. Let's move on. My juice to my za. You are my N word. I need to stop saying this word so much. Now that I hang out with snow bunnies all the time, can't be randomly throwing those words around. New friends are also a thing. As much as friends leave, there are also new people coming in. I recently made a new friend, probably gonna be a long-lasting friend. She is gonna be in my life forever. You know yourself. Yeah, man. Thank you for all the lovely stuff that you brought me. The biltong is almost finished. It was delicious. The pap, fantastic. The Nando Spice already finished. Can you believe it? I haven't touched the potato chips. Yes, because, I am on a potato chip diet. Yeah. It's been 71 days now. 72 days maybe. No, 71. Yeah, 71. That's the update. Yeah, guys. I've been fasting potato chips, Doritos, Cheetos, Mazimba, whatever. Not touching those things for another 29. Now there's something in my eye randomly. 29 days to go. April 29. I'll be going somewhere, and when I go on that trip, I will open my first bag of potato chips. I'm gonna open it on the plane. I can't wait. Oh my God, I can't wait. Sometimes I can smell my hands. They smell like salt and vinegar, Oh, sour cream and chives. Yeah. Man, it's been so long. The blue Doritos. I have it. I got it from my new best friend. Yeah, I'm going to be so sad when she leaves Japan. No, that's not going to be nice. Wow. It's not going to be nice. But new friends, they do come. And yeah, you build new relationships again. We hang out. This guy called Wandile, he's been organizing South African parties. And that's not where I met my new friends, but Wandile is the link to how I met my two new friends. And I must say it's been really nice. The only reason I'm not really mentioning them by name is because I haven't asked them consent and permission to say their names. People like Jesse and Lopez and Teles, those and Vando, those ones, they don't care, those are easy going. Those are my homies. They will also be with me for the rest of my life. So I can mention them, and I'm going to load pictures of them. You guys can see them without me asking them for their permission, because we have a secret permission. We have drank wine from the same cup. Jesse and I have even gone further than that we are blood brothers now. Him and I, blood brothers now. Yeah, so two new friends that are really nice people. I enjoy hanging out with them. We always chatting. One of the guys that I recently made friends with is because he speaks Setswana the same way I speak Setswana. It's like we are from the same town, and that is why we have become friends so easily without even having to discuss it, without even having to, like, the vibes just became, hey man, you are my homie, and that is it. Yeah, and that's really nice. That's like, I think that is one of the most crucial things of having friends in when you live abroad, is that if you have a lot of common background, it's so much easier for you to just click. I think what works between me and Jesse so much is because during his time in Namibia, he learned Afrikaans, and him and I, we speak Afrikaans quite often. That's like our secret language in between people. We speak it quite often. And he also lived in South Africa a little. Wait, I don't know. Jesse, did you live in South Africa? Visited South Africa? It's Thomas that lived in South Africa before. But, Jesse's just easygoing like that. Sorry, Jesse never lived in South Africa. It's Thomas that lived in South Africa. So I confused Jesse and Thomas because I knew them, or I kind of befriended them at the same time. And because they both lived in Namibia, and because they were friends before I was introduced, sometimes it becomes a blur. Because Thomas is also like that. Thomas is also like a very close friend of mine, like that. Up until he left, little shit. But Jesse and I, like, it was so easy for us to become friends. I remember even the first time we met, we were playing football, and the connection was just there, unspoken, like nobody had to say, hey man, hey, what's up, blah blah. No, from the word go, we were just like, hey. And also because we play football similar, he's like a proper general, he is like that Andrea Pirlo. Yeah. And I am more like a David Trezeguet, I just wait there for him to pass me. And then, what, I'm like Ruud van Nistelrooy. If there is a deep lying player that can just supply you with those balls over the top, you can rely on me. You can rely. Many know. Okay, I'm lying. Not many know I'm not that great. But at indoor soccer, I make it look like I'm good because I'm so fit. Actually, it's because I can run around so much. I've got an engine, a buffalo engine is what I. I've had people like point to me or even George are sitting there like, oh, what? Buffalo engine my ass. But yeah, Jesse and So I think I was talking about the new friends that I make and how we are clicking so well, like effortlessly, and I think that is like really, it's key. It's key to having long lasting friends like that. I've tried to be friends with like non-Africans, and that always feels like I have to put in an extra effort with them. I just have to be less radical. I have to be more palatable or more nice. I have to be easy with them. Except for this one non-African one called Jessica. Yeah. My Taiwanese bonang. Yeah, Jessica. Well, she's non-African by genetics, by human physiology, but culturally she's African. Girl was raised in Durban, I mean, she can't speak a single word of Zulu. Shame on her. But yeah, she's the only non-African that I really don't have to try around her. And Jess is really cool. Jess is nice. She's just too much of a Gen Z, Oh, these young people. Oh. But I love you, Jess. So making friends. Man, I've lost the trail of this. So let's just treat this video as me having a chat with you about my friendships here in Japan and just how important they are for my soul and for my well-being. I've seen people struggle to make friends, but I've also seen people that we we had somebody organize a party and then they meet for the first time. And after that, all you see on social media, it's these new people who recently became friends. And it's like so beautiful to see sometimes how these parties that we have, and we must thank Tabo for this one. He organized really nice parties that got people together. And a lot of people, South African and non-South Africans, met up there and actually became friends from then on, which is really lovely. And that it's beautiful to see. But while I'm here, actually, let me quickly give flowers to my friend Tabo. Yeah, Tabo recently left. He left last year, actually, 2025. So he's like the latest of my friends to leave. And him and I, we were very close and we spent a lot of time together. He moved here in Japan, or he moved to Japan back in 2021. And I remember when we first met him, this other elderly guy called Braroni brought him around. He said, hey guys, this is the new guy. He's basically going to be joining the embassy and, I'm going to be leaving soon. So you guys should look after him. And we're like, yeah, sure. It's nice to meet you. And immediately him as well, when he started talking, I could hear, Mfana Kopitori, this one. And he's like to me, hey man, I remember he looked at me straight in the eyes like, hey man, isn't your other name Paul, man? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, well, and obviously I wasn't that surprised because a lot of people do know me, I'm kind of famous, Yeah, and he's like, I know you, man. In South Africa, you used to date so-and-so. Yeah, I know you through her. You once came to my ex-girlfriend's house and I was there, but I wasn't with you guys at that time. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, and you guys were planning to come visit us in Brazil. When I was in Brazil, you were planning. I'm like, what? Tavo, it's you. Because I had never met him back, let's say, in 2014, 2013, 14 years ago, 13 years ago, when we were planning, me and my ex back then, we were planning to go to Brazil, or we're talking about going to Brazil to visit her friends. It turns out that it was Tabo. Yeah. And I was like, wow, small world, man. Yeah. And Tabo and I became friends from that day on. I mean, at that time, him and I, we didn't kick it off like very easily because it was in the middle of COVID. We didn't have as many hangouts as we have outside of COVID, outside of COVID years. But eventually when we clicked, yeah, we were like a house on fire. We hung out very often. We had craft beers. We almost finished the craft beers of Japan, man. We drank a lot. One time we met up with this New Zealand guy. Or we not met up. We were out at this place called Tep and Growler. We're having beers there, and then this tall guy with his beard comes in, lots of tattoos, and he's like, "Oh yeah, what's up, guys? I heard this place is nice." I'm like, "Yeah, it's really cool." And he's like, "Yeah, can I buy you guys beer?" We're like, "Huh? No, man, it's fine. We'll buy you a beer." And he comes and he stands with us, yeah, and we chatted, man. What turned out just as a hello ended up being a whole night, Sunday night of just drinking, to the point that Tabo left his car somewhere and we don't even know. I mean, of course, he had to leave the car because after drinking, you can't drive in Japan. So he had driven somewhere, and then I met up with him and he said, "Oh man, I drove, so I can't drink." And I'm like, come on. It's safe. Leave your car and then we'll go fetch it the next day. Yeah, but we got so drunk, we didn't even remember where the car was parked. What a disaster. So Monday morning, all of Monday, Tab was looking for his car. Yeah, but yeah, we did that. Once we also met up with this couple from San Francisco, and this guy's an engineer. He's building a plane. He's just randomly sitting there with his wife, and we were just drinking, and Tabo just spoke to them and like, "Oh yeah, where you guys from?" Yeah, and then they joined our table. Same thing. It ended up being one long night of drinking with these total strangers who actually became friends. They are like social media friends now. One of those, we text them or they text us now and then, yeah, and we chat. The joys, yeah, and the adventures of making friends abroad. It can be a beautiful thing, honestly. It can be a beautiful thing, but it also comes with that burden of the friendship breakups or just the ending of friendships when people move abroad. I still think, Bongani leaving is the one that is taking me the longest to get over because, yeah, Bongani was such a good friend, like a big brother to all of us. Nobody had any beef with Bongani. I mean, nobody has beef with anybody in our friend circle. Except these other two people. Of course, I cannot mention. But I mean, it's normal to have beef. But Bongani, man, everybody loved Bongani. Everybody that hung out with Bongani just felt at ease. He had this calming thing about him, really nice. And he used to invite us to his house as well. And he would make this really nice, slow cooked pork. Whoa, man. Those were the days. Bongani, Tabo, yeah, you guys, man. You made my life or my time here, the past 3-4 years in Japan. Or the 3-4 years that you were in Japan, they were really nice, yeah. And Bongani, I must apologize. If I did take 1 year to respond to you, I really apologize. But yeah, Bongani just DM'd me. He said, "Hey, Monara-san, I see based on your social media that you are in Japan. Are you still here? Would you like to catch a beer?" To me, it was the next day when I responded. To him, it was the next year that I responded. And man, that was the best decision I'd ever made in my life. The next day, him and I remember I was still close friends with Zuga. Zuga and I actually went to Shibuya to have a drink there, and then Bongani came. We sent him location to where we were. He came. Guy doesn't drink. He works when he was here in Japan, he worked for Sanctuary Beer. And he didn't even drink, not even once. But he made, he didn't make the beer. He just designed, or he worked on the packaging of the beer. So he was a bottler, basically. He was like Arsenal. He was a bottler. He was a bottling engineer. Yeah, so we went drinking. Zuga was there. Bongani was there. And that's how I became friends with Bongani. And I think that will be a long-lasting friendship. The joys of living abroad. Now, okay, enough. This video is coming to an end. So let me tell you a little bit more about these friends and this gentleman club that we have. So every once in a while, like I said at the beginning of the video, we hang out, we have wine. I've been learning Portuguese because most of these guys, Mozambicans, Angolan, and Brazilians, they speak Portuguese all the time. Always. Ele sempre fala português. Ay, they are killing me, these guys, man. But yeah, but I try, I learn. Yeah. Eu estudo portuguesa agora. I am studying Portuguese now. I see, I even gave up on Japanese. But yeah, I'll get back to it one day. Now, Portuguese is the one. But yeah, I hang out with these guys. We have wine. Sometimes we go out and do random stuff. I remember we went to this obstacle course once. That was really fun. We are planning to go-kart racing. We are planning to go paintball shooting sometime soon. And then hopefully as a group, we could go to Morocco, but I doubt that's going to happen. That's such a big challenge because even my dates are clashing with Morocco, which is really hurting me for Yasin's wedding. And soon we will be going camping at the beach. Yeah, for somebody's birthday, for Jess's birthday. Yeah, these guys, they are my brothers. They are my everything right now. They are my brothers away from South Africa. And all of them, they have made the vow that they want to go to South Africa with me, or they want to go to South Africa when I'm there so that I can show them around, which is really funny because now I need someone to show me around South Africa. But these guys, they are my therapy. They are my everything. Whenever I hang out with them, of course, I get nice and drunk, but I'm always fed. We have nice arguments. I reset my stress. Everything that is bothering me, I get to share with them. And it feels like a lot is lifted over my shoulders. And if you are living abroad, I wish you have such a nice and amazing group, the same way that I have. Thomas, you living in Netherlands, man, I hope you have found your own community of people like we had here, man. You remember all the parties, all the nice stuff that we used to do here, playing football together, playing video games, man. Those used to be the day. Once I needed to go to Narita, which is an airport far from anywhere, far from Tokyo, to get to Narita, man. Sometimes you travel longer than the flight that you're going to take to wherever you're going. It takes me 2 hours to go from my place to Narita. And once I needed to catch a flight at 7 in the morning. That flight was going to Okinawa to go hang out with my friends Dida and Katleho back in 2022. And then I slept at Thomas's house. I say slept, but we didn't sleep. I went to Thomas's house because he lives like halfway, or he lived back then, he lived halfway between Tokyo and Narita. I went to stay at his house because it would have been closer. We ended up not sleeping. We went from izakaya to izakaya, eating and drinking, talking smack. And in the middle of the night, he gets emergency call or something from work that he had to go update some systems. This guy whips up a laptop right there and starts working. Very interesting. But yeah, man, Vando, yeah, you guys, your experience that you have in Japan and the stuff that you share with me about just living and surviving Japan, always appreciated, man. Yeah, and tell us, you and I, we're always talking about Formula One. I don't think we support the same team, do we? I support McLaren, and you kind of like McLaren, but, you don't like their strategy and how they go about things. And I got a feeling you're a Lewis Hamilton diehard fan, maybe. Yeah. Jesse, yeah, the football, man, you and I, every single thing that we do together, man, always cool. Just the random drinks, the talking about Manchester United. Yasin, us talking about platinuming. The first time I decided to platinum a video game was because of Yasin. We became friends on PlayStation Network, and I saw he's got 99 platinums. Yasin, are you crazy, bro? How many games do you play? I have 3 platinums. He's got 99. But my first platinum was because of Yasin. He's like, just try, just play the game, and you will, trust me, you will do it. Yeah, so Yasin and I, he's that kind of friend, a PlayStation friend. And then there's people like Paddy as well. Paddy, really nice gentleman from Lesotho. He works here in Japan. He gives a lot of life advice, IT kind of advice, but also I never get to hang out with him. We're always talking over the phone. A really cool guy. He's just one of those friends as well. Quite a busy lifestyle vibe, adult, mature, grown up with grown children. So, more responsibilities than some of us. And I must say, Paddy, man, I always appreciate the fact that you watch my videos, you comment, and you even text me and tell me your experiences, which I really like. And I guess to end up this video, is please keep it going, guys. Keep commenting. Tell me what your experience is like, whether you have a community of friends wherever you live. I know there's a lot of people. Ever since I moved abroad, I, of course, met and spoken to a lot of people that live abroad. There's Alex that lives in Frankfurt. I visited him once. He's got his own community with people there, man. Alessandro, man, what a cool guy. I met him here. He came to visit his friend Tlohelo here in Tokyo. Again, shout out to Tlohelo. Also, what a cool guy. He used to live here. He lived here for 2 years doing his master's, now moved back to South Africa, but we keep touch. Really nice guy as well. We went snowboarding together and he was like, TSC dog, I'm telling you, all you got to do is make the big C turn, or S turn, whatever they call it. Just make it nice and big and slow and then you'll get it. Yeah, I met Alessandro through Tlohelo. Yeah, and I know he's got a nice community going in Frankfurt, and he's got friends in Dubai as well. When I was in Dubai, he tried to link me with his friends there. My other Andile, I have known Andile for quite a long time. He's gone through Japan, also a very small world. I know people here in Japan that knew Andile when he was in Japan. And when I told them, I was like, what? You know Andy? And yeah, bro, they call you Andy here. You know Andy? But anyway, yeah, Andile Maada, he now lives in St. Petersburg, if I'm not mistaken, out in Russia. See, got a community there of his own. Charlotte Zwane lives in London. Girl doing her things there. I met Charlotte in, did I meet Charlotte? I met you in Bali, right? Yeah. Met Charlotte with her family in Bali. Excuse me. Really cool, nice young girl exploring the world, enjoying herself. It's so many people, man. There are so many people that live in Australia, that live in the United States that I can give shout out to. And they have become like those friends that I keep touch with through social media. And those people I have just valued having those friendships from afar, from abroad. And all of my friends that have come to visit me in Japan, you guys are the best. I give you a shout out to that. Yeah, this episode has been about, literally there was no theme. I was meant to come here and tell you about how I hang out with my friends, drinking wine at somebody's house. I ended up telling you about the joys of making and losing friends here in Japan. Unfortunately, I can't tell you how to make the friends. All you have to do is just go out there, be open-minded, put yourself out, chat to people, text them, go to the parties when they invite you, buy them gifts. Or not really buy them gifts, like share gifts. Like in Japan, yeah, there's a culture of sharing gifts here, omiyage style, souvenirs, giving each other small little cakes, peanuts, whatever. It's a Japanese thing. So do that, yeah. Be friends with people like that. It works. I know with my friends it works because we are always sharing wine. And wine is the common denominator in all of our friendships, Like wine has brought us together because we are all alcoholics. Alcoholics Anonymous. I should actually not call this the Gentleman's Club. I should call it Alcoholics Anonymous. Yeah, if my mom is watching this video, I'm sure she's going to be there shaking her head, be like, I raised you to be a nice grown Christian child. All you do is drink wine. Drink wine. Yeah, but it started in church. In church, we drank wine, we drank sherry. Yeah. Yeah, so that's that. If you want to make friends in Japan, man, try your best if you can with Japanese people, but good luck. I tried it. It's very difficult. But find your community, man. Find your group of people that like the things that you like. Yeah, it's not even that difficult. Trust me. Social media has helped many people, but at the same time, it has also been negative. Social media, it makes people more reclusive. It makes people spend time on their phones rather than hanging out with each other. Oh my goodness, my goodness. Before I go, how can I forget Evans Maji? We need to do an episode, bro. Man, Evans, this Kenyan dude, really dope friend of mine. Me and Evans, we have our issues, but the minute we hang out, it's like we are brothers. We are big forehead brothers. That's what Evans and I. And then Shumi. I knew Evans through Shumi, or Yeah. I knew Evans basically through Shumi. Although we had met before then. We met at the park before then. But only after hanging out with Shumi a lot more, then I met Evans. Which I must actually give the special shout out to Gorera Su. Yeah, Shumi, I call him Gorera. He calls me Gorera too. He's a very cool friend of mine. Man, again, a very experienced African in Japan. This guy knows everything about Japan, Japanese culture, Japanese mannerisms, how Japanese people behave, and he's really good with Japan and Japanese people. Shumi is that one guy. If we want a road trip, he organizes it. If you want to go to the beach, he organizes it. If you want to go snowboarding, Shumi is your guy. And he has started this nice little events thing, he calls it Mingle Mania, and then he makes parties based on African regions. He has made a SADC region or SADC party where it's South Africans and Mozambicans and SADC and Zimbabwe. He has made East Africa vibe, which is really nice. His biggest challenge though is to make West Africa. Come on, you can do it, Shumi. Come on, you can bring all the pepper soup together, man. Hey, Oga, it's time, man. Yeah, Shumi, man, what a nice guy. Shumi is that one guy. Every week he texts me just to check how I'm doing. Even if I don't see him, he's like, hey, Gorera, are you okay? Or happy Friday, Gorera. Happy Wednesday, you're almost there. Hang in there, you can do it. This guy, man, he's like that older brother you never had or you never asked for. He will look after you. Shumi is a really nice guy. Everybody, any person that says they don't like Shumi, man, they need to go get themselves checked because Shumi is a cool guy. Yeah, and with that, I'm going to wrap it up. If I forgot to give you an honorary mention, it's not because I don't like you. It's because, I'm nervous. It's difficult making these videos. So sometimes my head gets jumbled up saying lots of things, many things. Honestly, the only people I have in my mind all the time is a Republican girl from America, my mother, my brother, and family members. Okay, this part is not necessary, but yeah, if I forgot to mention you, it's not because I am shading you or anything. I'm throwing shade on you. It's just, it is what it is, man. It's not easy making these YouTube videos. But yeah, friendships in Japan, friendships abroad, they're very important. Make sure you get yours. Make sure you cherish those people. And there's no point in arguing about silly things and losing friendships or not complimenting your friends enough or being jealous of your friends or whatever. Those things are so silly, they're childish. All you gotta do is go have nice food with your friends, drink wine and laugh, That's all. Anyway, that's all. See you guys in the next video. Ciao.